Namaste to all my dear students. I am once again in front of you to discuss about act number 2, scene number 7, where the scene is about Prince of Morocco choosing the cascades. Dear students, in my previous 2 videos, I have made acquainted with few of the things which are the beginning to choose the cascade by Prince of Morocco. In the first video, I have discussed about the arrival of Prince of Morocco to Portia's room and observing all the cascades. And in the second video, we have discussed about how Prince of Morocco analyzes each cascades. You might be remembering the first cascade which he analyzes will be the lead cascade. He refuses the possibility of Portia's portrait in the lead cascade. He gives his own reason why lead cascade doesn't contain Portia's portrait. When he moves further, the cascade which he gets there is the silver cascade. He is attracted by the word called deserve, and he introspects himself about the deservance of winning Portia. You know, in the last class I have explained you how he thinks about his own merits and compares it with Portia's merits and finds the possibility of having Portia's portrait in the silver cascade. If I summarize the things, let me tell you, he finds silver cascade as a reasonable cascade where Portia's portrait possibly is hidden. But as a chance, he wants to move further and read the inscriptions once again, which is written in the golden cascade. So in this particular video, we shall discuss about what is Prince of Morocco's analysis over golden cascade and ultimately how he comes to conclusion. I think I have stopped there where he describes the watery kingdom, the deserts, and how the different suitors from different directions are coming to view fair Portia and to win her. Anyhow, we shall further see what actually happens there. Look at there, open the textbook and find the place where we stopped and where we have to start. One of these 3 contains her heavenly picture. Is it like that lead contains her? It were damnation to think so base a thought. Dear students, he once again comes to a conclusion that one of these 3 contains her heavenly picture. He is yet not knowing which cascade contains Portia's portrait. He thinks that among these 3 cascades, one cascade contains her heavenly picture. Heavenly picture means already Prince of Morocco consider Portia as a goddess. And that's why the picture which is hidden in one of the cascades is not Portia's picture. It is almost the picture of a heaven. Heaven means here goddess. So he concludes that one of these 3 cascades surely contains her heavenly picture. Heavenly picture means Portia's picture. Is it like that lead contains her? Once he thinks in a confusing state of mind that is it possible that lead cascade contains her? And already you know he refused the possibility of it. Once again he thinks about it and probably he is going to refuse it. Look at what says the next sentence. It were damnation to think so base a thought. Thinking the possibility of having Portia's portrait in the lead casket itself will be a kind of damnation. Damnation means putting someone into hell. It is a very cheap thought. It's a very sinful thought if Prince of Morocco thinks that Portia's portrait is hidden in lead casket. Look at that. It is like a base thought. Base thought means a cheap thought. It will be a very ordinary thought. It will be a very cheap thought if I think that Portia's portrait is hidden in the lead casket. This is what Prince of Morocco thinks and refuses the possibility of lead casket having Portia's portrait. It were too gross to rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. Very important sentence. Look at that. It were damnation to think so base a thought. It were too gross. Gross means ordinary thought. Ordinary metal, which is lead metal. And he thinks to rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. Dear students, cerecloth is a beautiful concept usually used in the European countries. Cerecloth means, please hear this, cerecloth means there will be a corpse or a dead body. Usually when a person dies in European part of the countries, they have a custom to fold the entire dead body by the wax. By using the wax, they usually bind the dead body before they cremate it, before they bury it. So here, that particular concept called cerecloth is brought here. What do you mean by this reference? It's very simple. Listen here. Here, Portia's portrait, which may be there in the lead casket, possibly, if it is true, then surely it is as cheap as putting a dead body bound by the cerecloth, bound by the wax, and putting it in the graveyard. That means there is an impossibility of having Portia's portrait in the lead casket. Once again, let me clear this. It were damnation to think so. It were too gross. It will be a very ordinary metal so that Portia's portrait can be kept there. It is as ordinary as keeping the cerecloth, keeping a dead body bound by the wax in the obscure grave. Obscure grave means hidden grave, graveyard. You might have heard the word called graveyard. In that graveyard, when the dead body is obscured, when it is put there, before that there is a process, the process of bounding the dead body with the wax, with the particular cloth. If you want to get a clear picture of it, let me show you an image for that. Look at this. This is what the cerecloth is. You can see that a dead body is completely waxed. It is put under the cerecloth, and then they are going to shift it to the graveyard and they bury it there. This is called as cerecloth, and here the image is very simple. He thinks, if I think that Portia's portrait may be there in the lead casket, it will be a very ordinary thought, because it will be as cheap as ordinary as putting the dead body under cerecloth. I hope you have understood it. So that's why he thinks, shall I think in silver she is immured? So that's why he refuses the possibility of lead casket having Portia's portrait. And next he thinks, can I think that her portrait is hidden in the silver casket? Will it be immured? Immured means will it be hidden there in the silver casket, which is being 10 times undervalued to tried gold? Even he may not think of this because silver casket is having some undervalue. Undervalue means in comparison with the gold casket, silver casket is having very less value. It is having undervalue. How much time it is undervalued? It is said that 10 times silver is undervalued to gold. So that's why the possibility is very less. Oh, sinful thought! Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. He himself concludes that it will be a sinful thought to think that her portrait may be there either in silver or in lead casket. It will itself is a sinful thought. So, if at all Portia's portrait is hidden, it will be surely not less than the gold. That means he finds in the gold casket, probably Portia's portrait is hidden. Look at what he says. Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. He compares Portia to a gem of a person. So her portrait cannot be kept in a metal which is so ordinary. Either it may be silver or it may be lead casket. It should be kept in the gold casket. None of them can keep in worse than the gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold, but that's inscribed upon. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. Dear students, this is how he ultimately makes a conclusion about finding himself the gold casket as the true casket where Portia's portrait is hidden. He brings an image of a coin which is in circulation in England. He talks about a beautiful coin, a golden coin, which is in circulation in England before. So in that particular coin, an angel's figure is carved. An angel's figure is carved in the gold. It's only carved there. But still, that particular coin was very much valued before when it was in circulation. But here, at this particular moment, he says that the coin which is in circulation in England is very much undervalued, is very much cheap in comparison with the casket which is completely made up of gold, where a gem is present in the form of Portia's portrait. You know that already Portia is considered as a gem. So where that gem is hidden according to him? It is hidden in complete casket which is made up of a valued metal called gold. That's why he says there, let me once again read there. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel. In England, there is a coin which bears the figure of an angel, where the complete coin contains a figure of an angel carved in gold. Stamped means it is fixed in gold. That means it is carved in gold. But that is inscribed upon. But in that particular coin, the angel's figure is inscribed. Inscribed means it is inscribed. It is carved minutely there on that particular golden coin. But what is the reality here in this particular place according to Prince of Morocco? But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. There, in that particular case, it is very cheap because there they have used only gold to carve the angel's figure, which is present on the coin. But what happened here? Here, a complete formation of an angel can be seen lying whole within on the golden bed. Which is the golden bed here? golden bed is the gold casket. On the surface of the gold casket, Portia's portrait is completely lying there. It is lying there horizontally. So that's why, in comparison with the coin and the angel, truly Portia's portrait gets more value here. So that's why Prince of Morocco exaggerates and highlights Portia's personality, her value, and he says that her portrait cannot be kept less than gold. That means either the silver or the lead casket truly will not contain her portrait. Surely it will be there in the golden casket. So that's why ultimately he says, deliver me the key. He turns back to Portia and says, please give me the key. Deliver means give me the key of the golden casket. Here do I choose and thrive I as I may. This is what my choice is. Here do I choose means this is my choice. Golden casket is my choice. And thrive I as I may. That means let me, whatever happen, let it happen to me. Let me get what I got as a fortune, as a luck. Thrive means luck, fortune. So let me have whatever is written on my forehead. Please give me the keys of the golden casket, he says. And Portia turns back to Prince of Morocco and says this, there take it, Prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours. So she also with an excitement gives the keys of the golden casket, and she says, if my form lie there, then I am yours. She is little bit happy because she knows that the golden casket doesn't contain her portrait. So if my form lie there, form means if my portrait lie there in the golden casket, straight away I am yours. That means I will be your wife, Portia says. And ultimately Prince of Morocco takes the key and unlocks the golden casket. Unlock means he opens the golden casket. There is a pause for few seconds because he is opening the golden casket, and after opening it, after unlocking the casket, Morocco exclaims because he receives the surprise and shock of his lifetime. What is that? Look at that. Morocco. Oh hell. When he opens, he finds surprise and shock inside the golden casket. What he finds there after all? Look at that. Oh hell, what have we here? What have we here means, what ultimately I found out here? A carrion death. Dear students, do you know what he gets there inside the golden casket? Instead of getting Portia's portrait, he gets the skull of a dead person. Carrion death means a skull. You can see there in the figure, a skull is present there. The same kind of skull is what he gets when he opens the golden casket. That means all his dreams are shattered into pieces. His hopes are broken into pieces. He wanted to find Portia's portrait there, but all of a sudden when he opens the golden casket, he gets the skull of a dead person. So within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. So along with holding the skull in his left hand, he gets a scroll. Scroll means a roll of paper. He gets a roll of paper. He finds it inside the hollow eye of the dead skull. I will read the writing. So after getting the scroll into his hand, he says that he wants to read it. Surprisingly, if you want to know what is written in the scroll, let me tell you that before he reads it. It is nothing but it is a compulsion for all the suitors when they choose one of the caskets. They will find a roll of paper, a scroll, which will talk about the wrong judgment of these kind of suitors. And there will be nobody who can scold the suitors and announce that they can get back because ultimately they did not find the right choice. So the scroll itself brings the message to these suitors that what they have got and what ultimate the result will be. So almost these scrolls will be a kind of commentators announcing that the Morocco-like suitors cannot continue to marry Portia, they should get back. This is what the result will be. So that's why surprisingly he gets that scroll and start to read. Whatever next we see is the content of the scroll. We shall read and understand what it says. It will be very funny as well. Reads, all that glitter is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Many a man his life had sold, but my outside to behold. Guiled at tomes to worms in fold, had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrawled, fare you well, your suit is cold. This is what? The content of the scroll. What do you mean by this? Please listen. All that glitter is not gold. The scroll is saying that, hello, my dear Prince of Morocco, your judgment is wrong because you might have known this fact, this particular proverb, this is a proverb, that all that glitter is not gold. Whatever we see glistening is surely not gold. There are many other things which also glitters. That doesn't mean that it is gold. So all that glitter is not gold. Everything which shines, which glitter is not gold. So that's why we must sometimes even differentiate between the pure gold and the impure gold, what we call as rolled gold. So that's why you might have already realized the fact that all that glitter is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Often you might have heard this particular statement, proverb, which is told by our predecessors, our forefathers, using this as a proverb. Many a man his life has sold, but my outside to behold. Many people have sold their life, have lost everything by looking at my outside. What do you mean by outside? Outside of the golden cascade. Don't you think that there are many people who thinks that gold is ultimate? There is nothing which is in comparison with the gold's value. So that's why in case of getting the gold, they have sold their life itself. They have sacrificed, they have completely collapsed their life for the sake of getting the gold. And sometimes they are cheated by the originality of the gold. Sometimes when they think that this gold is original, that may not be the case, and they have completely lost everything as far as their life is concerned. That's why it is very dangerous to believe the gold and completely embrace it, accept it in our life. Sometimes we have to lose everything if we depend on the shining attitude of the gold, because all that glitter is not gold. Guiled at tomes to worms infold. Even, don't you know the value of the gold? Guiled at tomes to worms infold. Sometimes you might have seen rich people, before they bury a dead body, especially in the Christianity, they have a practice of putting the body into the coffin. Coffin means a wooden box. But in European countries, then they had a custom of, if suppose they are rich people, they used to prepare the wooden box, the tombs, in the gold. They used to have the gold frame for the tombs, so that they can even exaggerate the life of that person even in his death. So such kind of tombs which are gilded means illuminating, gold plated tombs, do worms infold. After all, when that particular dead body is put inside the tombs, putting in the coffin, can you think that because of using the gold on it, it will last for a longer period? No, surely it is not the case. Within 1 year or 2 year, if you dig the place and see whether the box is as it is, surely you will not find the box as it is. It will be caught by the worms, as it happens with all other wooden boxes. That means, don't you think that the gold is also pretty ordinary? It's not permanent, it is a temporary substance in comparison with all other substances. So our thought should be very simple. Because of the gold which is glittering, we should not think that gold is superior. So his judgment is wrong, because he thought that the illuminating attitude of the gold is what made Prince of Morocco think that Portia's portrait must be there in the golden cascade, which is a wrong decision made by our unwise Prince of Morocco. Had you been as wide as bold, young in limbs in judgment old. That's why Prince of Morocco gets this message from the scroll saying that had you been as wise as bold, you should have been as wise. Wise means intelligent as bold. There is no doubt that you are bold. Bold means courageous. But along with your boldness, you should have some sense. Wiseness means sense, intelligence. But that has not proved here. Young in limbs in judgment old. Do you know what you are? You are very young in limbs. You are very young physically. You are very strong enough in physicality. But you are very much old in your judgment. Judgment means in decision making you are old. Your answer had not been inscrawled. Sorry to tell you, your answer, whatever you wanted, is not inscrawled. Inscrawled means it is not hidden inside the golden cascade. What you deserve is only this. Dear Prince of Morocco, you deserve not Portia, but the skull, the head of a dead person. You take this home. That's what it says. Fare you well, your suit is cold. Fare you well means tata, goodbye, adieu, Prince of Morocco. Your suit is cold. Suit here means demand. Your demand is cold. Cold means over. Your demand is over. What his demand was? His demand was to get Portia's portrait. But that is not what he got. So your demand is over. Tata, goodbye, he says. Cold indeed and labor lost. So up to there it was the content of the letter. And with a heavy sigh, Prince of Morocco says with a very disappointed manner, cold indeed. Yeah, of course, my entire desire was cold. Cold means it is over. And labor lost. What is lost is the entire efforts to come here and find out the cascade is completely lost. And his entire effort is lost. Then farewell heat and welcome frost. Farewell heat means tata, goodbye, heat. Heat means love. Welcome frost means welcome a kind of undesiristic thing where he could not ultimately found out what he wanted. So the lost desire is completely lost. Farewell heat, farewell love, because he has the love towards Portia, and now not only he is saying goodbye to Portia, along with that he is saying goodbye to his love. Welcome frost. Frost means here dullness, inactiveness, disappointedness, disgustness. So everything must be invited by Prince of Morocco at this particular moment. Portia, adieu. He turns towards Portia and says, tata, goodbye, Portia. I am helpless, sorry, I could not win you. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave, thus losers part. He says that I have a heart now with an attitude of disappointmentness. Grieve means sadness, disappointed heart. So he is moving from here with a disappointed heart at this particular moment. To take a tedious leave. Tedious leave means moving with a heavy footsteps. He is leaving tediously in a very tiresome manner. Prince of Morocco says that he is moving. This particular movement is the movement of losers. Losers means usually when a battlefield you see defeaters, losers move in this particular passion. So in that way, Prince of Morocco says that he is moving with a tedious leave. That is how usually the losers part means move from their particular battlefield. So that means the hope of Prince of Morocco is completely over, finished, and he moves from there as usual. Exit with his train, flourish of cornets. Unfortunately, when he was moving, his followers follow him, but annoyingly, they blow the trumpet as usual. But it was not required. Once when Prince of Morocco turns towards the musicians, they stop it, because this is not the moment to cherish. He is a defeater, he is a loser, he is moving like a person who has lost his battle. Anyhow, after Prince of Morocco exit from there, Portia's joyness is boundless. Look at what she says. A gentle riddance, draw the curtain, go, let all of his complexion choose me so. So she says goodbye to Prince of Morocco, a gentle riddance. A gentle riddance means a happy departure. For Portia, Prince of Morocco's departure is the happiest one. So that's why she says that it's a very happy departure. Draw the curtains. So she turns towards the servants and says, once again, please draw the curtains and don't reveal the caskets. It should be closed. Let all of his complexion choose me so. And at last she says one more sentence very interestingly. Let all of his complexion, whoever comes next to here, who are having the same kind of complexion. Complexion means color of Prince of Morocco. So if anybody comes who is having the same kind of color of Prince of Morocco, let them choose like whatever Prince of Morocco chosen. That means Portia wants anyone who comes like Prince of Morocco must choose the casket like Prince of Morocco. That means she doesn't want to marry. Even she doesn't want to imagine herself being the wife of the persons like Prince of Morocco. So anyhow, in this particular situation, Portia has escaped from the hands of Prince of Morocco, and we don't know how many suitors still have to follow, and from how many suitors Portia must escape. Anyhow, one of the person is escaped by Portia, and Portia still have to see who comes next, because we know she has a very strong desire to marry her beloved, that is Bassanio. We shall see that in the coming episodes. This is what I wanted to do in this particular video. Dear students, here ends scene number 7. Anyhow, the question follows after this. You have to answer for the temporary time, and along with that, as I have finished this particular scene, now it is time for you to write the workbook. Please write the workbook and come. When you come to the school, we shall discuss even the questions of the workbook. It is better that you finish it off. In my next class, I am going to take you scene number 8, which takes differently in a different places, which talks about different concept there. We shall discuss it, and here are questions. And one more very important thing for you regarding this particular scene. After you see the questions, you will get the movie part of this particular scene, which may be 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which is only related to this particular scene. You can watch that movie excerpts and understand the text in a better manner. So we shall meet once again in the next video. Thank you.
to choose the right?
The one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that, then I'm yours withal.
Some god direct my judgment. Let me see. Huh? Who chooseth me must give and hazard all he hath. Must give? For what? For lead? Hazard for lead? This casket, my friends, threatens. Men who hazard all do it in hope of fair advantages. A golden mind stoops not to show up dross, eh? I'll then no give no hazard aught for lead, eh? What says the silver with her virgin hue? Who chooseth me shall gain as much as he deserve. Pause there, Morocco. And weigh thy value with an even hand, huh? I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes, and in graces, and in qualities of... What if I stray no further but choose here? Who chooseth me will gain what many men desire. Huh? Why, that's the lady! All of the world desires her. From the four corners of the earth they come to kiss this shrine. This mortal breathing scent. Deliver me the key. Here do I choose, and thrive as I may.
There, take it, Prince. And if my form lie there, I am yours.
Oh, hell. What have we here? All that glistens is not gold. Often have you heard that told. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Are you well? Your suit is cold.